Hey everyone, this is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. So sorry for being gone so long, you guys. I have been busy designing, so I really haven't been crafting, but I wanted to share I wanted to do a tutorial on the lantern because I did have some ladies that had questions, but the video that I recorded wasn't very good, so I decided not to release it. And the lantern I'm talking about is this one right here. It's a very, very pretty lantern created with Scrap Diva Designs, the house die. And I decided that I wanted to do a fall one for the tutorial. Now I did pick up a few things for it because I wanted some type of lights, and the lights that I have are white, but I went to Michael's today and I picked up these candy corn light necklace, so I think that will work for what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna try and use this on the tree. I have a tree that I want to put in there, so that's one of the things I picked up. And then I also picked up some little fall greenery and berries. So I picked this one up, and not really for the flower because the flower's too big, but for the berries here. I love that peach color on there. And then I picked up these little pumpkins. So I'm not sure yet what it's gonna look like, but I did pick up a few things. These little pine cones with some copper glitter. And then I picked up this gorgeous little owl. Look at that cutie patootie. So I picked him up. These things were 60% off at Joann's. And then I picked up a bag of really, really small pumpkins. And I love the way these look, and they're very, very lightweight. Like, I won't never have to buy little miniature pumpkins ever again. I do have the Tim Holtz resin ones, but I think these will work better and they will glue better. So these are the few things that I picked up for this project. So if you have anything in your stash, or if you're doing Christmas, then of course you would pick out Christmas. So I'm going to start the tutorial. We're going to start on the roof, and I already have mine cut out, and this is going to be in stages because my phone tends to stop. So we're going to work on the roof first, and that will be the first part of the part one, and then we're going to work on the sides, and then the part 3 we'll finish it up decorating. So I want to teach you how to make the roof first. And I did cut out some layering pieces using the die. So the first thing that you need, of course, is you need the Scrap Diva house die set. And I think this is for a slimline card, and I'm using the biggest die, the biggest silhouette, because there is 2 of them. One is smaller and one is bigger. Mine came in 2 different packages, so I don't know if all this it comes in one package or not, but I will link the house in the description box below. Also, you can use the code C2C10 for 10% off your order. So the biggest of the 2 silhouette dies for the house is what I'm going to use for to begin with. Things are sliding off my my counters. So I cut myself a template just out of plain white cardstock with the big one, and I'm going to set that aside. And then you need to get whatever color you want the roof of your lantern or the top of your lantern to be. You're going to let's see, do I have enough room here? Yep. So I'm going to try and squeeze it in this corner. You don't need a lot, but you do need a little bit. So I'm going to position my lantern here, and I don't want it to the edge of the bottom of the roof because I still need a little lip, and that will be this lip right here, so we can connect it to the bottom of the lantern. So even though this is black and I'm using a pencil, I can still see the lines. So you're going to trace out the lantern all the way around, and then follow it down just a little bit along the side, because that kind of just gives you a guide. Now you can go in and erase these, but to be quite honest, by the time you lay your paper and all of that, you're not even going to see that. So there's my first one. Let me see. Hopefully you guys, yeah, I think you can see it. There's my first one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the same piece, and I'm going to angle it. See, right here I don't have enough room, so I can't do it here. I'm gonna have to move to this other side. let's see. I have to give myself enough room. So I'm going to start about here. I did already cut one out of this piece, but that one is just not going to work. So I'm going to trace it all the way to the bottom of the roof and down the side a little bit. And we're not going to cut that. We're going to disregard that. And then I'm going to line it up here. So line up this edge with the one that you wrote or drew on your paper. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to follow the sides down a little bit, and then I'm going to do the roof. So there's number 2, and you can keep going in the same direction. I think I'm going to come this way for number 3, and then I'm going to do number 4. Again, I'm going to line it up right at the tip of where my previous one was and trace it, and a little bit down the sides, and then we're going to do the last one. I'm going to do the last one right here. Again, I'm lining it up with the previous one that I drew or traced, and I'm going to go down the sides and around. So that is our little house roof, and you're going to need a total of 4. And then we're going to add another piece that is going to be what is going to connect it, which is this right here. We need that little piece. So I'm just going to freehand just a little tab here at an angle, and then I'm going to use my ruler and just connect the 2 lines, and that's going to be my little tab. And right here where we drew down on the house, you're going to get your ruler and you're going to line it up with the edge of the roof, and you're just going to trace down a little bit. Give yourself that little bit, and you don't want to follow the angle of the roof. No, you want to come straight down as if you're creating the side of a house. So that's what I'm doing here all the way around. Again, I will line it up here, trace down. I hate it when my phone starts ringing, you guys. Seems like every time I'm recording, my phone rings. So I kicked it out of my craft room today. And sure enough, as soon as I started recording, it started ringing. Now, the line that you gave yourself when you followed the side of the house down, if you use a clear ruler, that will keep you straight. You'll know exactly where to put your line. I'm pretty much just eyeballing mine, because I can go back and trim it. And that's all I'm doing here. I'm just tracing the side of the house down, because I'm going to need that little space. As straight as possible, as if you're drawing the side of your house down. So that's all I need there, and I'm going to cut this out. And if you want, you can give yourself a line going across. I'm not going to, because I already drew these lines down and I can see that I need that piece. So I'm just going to eyeball mine. Take that piece off. This one is already there. And this piece. And as you can see, there's the bottom of the roof, but I made that line, and that is where I am cutting, because I need that little piece to make a tab. I hope that I'm explaining it where you guys understand what I'm doing, but hopefully it'll make sense to you once I get a little bit further along and we start scoring. So now, right here is that tab that I created. So I'm going to cut right up that line that I did on the side of the house, and then I'm going to cut that angle. That way, this is my tab to connect the top of the lantern where I can close it up. And then on this side, there is no tab. So all you're going to do here, just cut there and to the corner, all the way to the center where they connect. So now there, you should end up with two squares right here, right next to each other. And all you're going to do is you're going to cut in between that square. So you're going to leave your little straight squares, cubes that you did there. And that's all you're doing. Just line up with the roof and cut that little square off. And that's it. So that's all you need to do. And you're going to have these little pieces. Now I'm going to show you how to score those. So I'm using a piece of foam. This is supposed to help you when you're stamping so that it will make better contact with your paper. And this is a very firm piece of foam. You could use a mouse pad. And I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to use this stylus to and you're going to line up to score. You're going to line up from on your lines that you drew when you were tracing the roof. And I'm going to score on all those marks. Hopefully I'll be in frame. And if you use a clear ruler, it's just so much easier because you can see right through it. And if you use a lighter color paper than I did, of course that makes it easier. Once you see what I'm doing, when we start folding it, it's going to make sense to you. Here's one more that I need to score. Again, I'm lining up in that line that I traced. Now, for the bottom tab right here that we need to connect the body of the lantern to the roof, this is where we're going to make our score mark. You're going to go to the corner that you snipped out to the other corner, and you're going to just put in a score mark. That's all you're going to do. And that's how you're going to line up from that corner to this one. And you drew it in with a pencil, so you'll be able to see it. Even if you do it on black, you can still see when you mark it with a pencil. So all I'm doing is going from the bottom of that roof line, from one end to the other end, and making my score line. And I just need one more. There's that. And I'm done with all my score marks. Let me remove that. So you can see now the score marks, and you're going to bend in that place. I'm not going to bend mine too much because I bought the 110-pound paper from Joann's, which is a Park Lane, I believe, and it's got a white core. It's not a black solid core, and it also cracks. So even though it's heavyweight paper, I think this is more like something if you're cutting die cuts, or if you're doing like a card panel, not something that you're going to fold. And it's very easy to fold the score lines because you created your score marks indentation by putting it on that hard foam. And then here's our little tab. Again, this is gonna fold down, and this, I'm not gonna fold it too much, it's going to connect our roof like this. That's what's going to close the top of our lantern. Okay, now these little tabs, you can go and straighten them up a little bit. I can tell mine are a little crooked. You can use a paper trimmer, or you can just eyeball it. I'm just going to eyeball it, and I like to give myself about 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch tabs. And let me straighten this one up some, and okay. So I just straightened those tabs up where they were about 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch, and you're going to fold them down. And I'm not going to fold them too much, and you really don't need to fold them too much either, because they're not made to be folded under. They're made to be glued straight down. But by doing the score mark with the tool there and the foam, it helps my paper to fold where I need it to fold. By the way, you guys, I saw Erica's fall release. It's gorgeous. I love sunflowers. I love fall. And I'm not on the as a guest designer this month, but her fall, she's got a lot of sunflowers, bag toppers, mini albums, gorgeous, gorgeous sunflower designs. So make sure to check those out because they're gorgeous and they're already released. Okay, so this is what's going to create our roof or the top to our lantern. And all you're going to do is you're going to fold the tab, add some adhesive, and you're going to glue it down. But before I do that, I'm going to add my layers to the top of mine. And all I did using that same die, I cut out just the roof portion of it and cut it straight across where it's straight, like a triangle, and I'm going to add those to the top of my roof. Now I don't really have any fall paper, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, but I'll figure that out as I'm going along. Hopefully by the time I do the video for the next part, I will have chosen what I want to use as far as my paper, because I do have some. I think I have a digital one. I might. So all I'm going to do, and you can do the same thing now, this has some texture in it. It's got some little dots. I don't know if you can see it. I picked it up at Joann's. But if not, and you're using something if you have a fall embossing folder, it would be gorgeous, you guys. I love, 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 love embossing on. You know what? I'm going to just glue this one down. And I'm not going to finish it because I have to glue this one because I already added glue. But I'm not going to finish it because I remembered that when I made the hole on the top, when we make that hanger part, we're going to have to create a hole. And I don't want you to damage your paper as you're doing that. You can't really see it on mine because I layered the paper afterwards. But it is sometimes easier to do it this way. But I'm going to stop here because when we close this up, we're going to have to make a hanger for it. And I'm going to try and do it really, really quick so you guys can see. So I can share it with you guys on how to make it, but not in this video because of the fact that my phone just cuts off. So do not layer these. Wait till we do the hook part, and then you will be able to layer these. But you guys get the gist of how I created the roof. So this is just part 1, and I'm going to end it here. That way you guys can do this process, and then I'll meet you here for the next part of this project. Maybe the next one we will create the hook for it, because I did create the hook, this one right here, with my let me share it with you guys. It is a wire jig from We Are Memory Keepers. I've had it a while, and I'm going to see if I can locate my gold wire, because I think I want gold. And this is a very soft wire. I think I picked this up from the Dollar Tree, you guys. And I believe they had it in gold and they had it in silver. What I have right now is in silver, and I really, really want to do a gold one. But if I don't find one, I'm going to have to do it in silver and maybe use my paint pen to paint it afterwards in gold. But you're going to need some type of jig. But I'll show you the process, and maybe you can use markers or something else that will help you with that. But that's what I'm going to use to make it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you here for part 2 of the making of the Scrap Diva Designs Slimline Door Lantern. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a great day, and God bless. Bye.